How are you? Zippity doo-dah, zippity day. My oh my, it's a wonderful day. It's a Thursday, 18th day of June, 2020. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host, and it's down the road we go on a beautiful late spring morning. Just 2 more days of spring. That's it. Summer arrives Saturday morning, 7 something or other. I'll double check on that and get back to you. Summer solstice is coming our way. First day of summer. Long days. Sun goes down after 9 o'clock in the evening where we live. Sun comes up at 5:04. So for the last basically week, we've had 15 hours, 57 minutes of daylight. The sunrise was just a little bit earlier and the sunset was just a little bit earlier. Now the sunset is a little bit later, but the sunrise is a little bit later. So it's, it's one half dozen over the other. Not a bad couple of days. A little blip in the radar screen come Saturday. Just in time for the weekend, we're going to have a few clouds on Saturday. It's going to cool us down, and then we really start heating up next week. We're going to take a look at the short-term and the long-term forecast here. In just a couple of minutes, we'll fill you a head full of all the information you need with news, sports, getting kind of closer, it looks like, to Major League Baseball, we hope. We don't know, but we hope. I'm holding out hope anyway. I don't like not having baseball. Baseball is there when you need it, and right now I need it, and it ain't there. We have Mike McNaughty's opinion. We got the obscure holiday. We got today in history, some celebrity birthdays. We're going to replay the interview in the back half of the hour that I did with Dave Tosh, Executive Director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Their thrift store, if you didn't hear the news, will open on Monday, June 22nd. Now, the Senior Activity Center itself will be closed, but just the thrift store will be open. It will be a bigger thrift store with social distancing guidelines in place. We'll talk to Dave in the back half of the hour. And by the way, on tomorrow's show, because we always have Bonnie Orr on 4 times a year on the equinoxes and the solstices to talk about what you need to know for your garden and your yard, we'll have Bonnie Orr here on Friday for some summertime yard and garden tips from the Dirt Diva. 2.5 minutes after the hour, lots of sunshine, 58 degrees. Let's take our tour. And once again, as always, the Cross Camera begins our morning festivities, located adjacent to the Cross at the very tip of Wenatchee Heights. That's one of the Sky-Fi towers that we have, and they are all over the place. I don't see a cloud in the sky. It's going to be very nice today. We hit 81 yesterday after we had, 4 or 5 days in a row where we weren't even close to being our normal high, which is in the upper 70s. We finally did that yesterday. We got up to 81 degrees. Took a long time. We'll be warmer than that today. We'll be warmer than that on Friday. Then we cool down Saturday and Sunday, and then we start warming right back up again, just in time for summertime. Good morning, Wenatchee. Good morning, East Wenatchee. Good morning, Columbia River. Full of water, I'm told. Camera number 2, where we off to Megan. It's Megan's choice. It looks to be, I'm going to say, the Bear Mountain camera. Hey, got one right. Bear Mountain Golf Course. You are beckoning me, by the way. That's Wapato Point that you see sticking out on the north shore of Lake Chelan. Chelan proper, way off to the right-hand side of your screen. Just a beautiful view there. And there are a lot of people who live in the Manson area on the other side of the lake that actually use the Sky-Fi towers on this side of the lake that you're seeing to get screaming fast internet. It's all about line of sight. It's way beyond my knowledge. It's a technical thing that I don't know anything about, but it's still pretty cool. Good morning to our friends at Lake Chelan. Camera number 3. Ooh, the new Lake Wenatchee camera that's become just a super favorite of mine now. Rapid snowmelt continues. Of course, up in the Cascades, Kaler Glen Golf Course is at the bottom of your screen. You can see where some of the clear-cut logging has been done over the years. Lake Wenatchee, of course, right smack dab in the middle of your picture, with Dirty Face Mountain a little bit to the right. I have hiked up to Dirty Face Mountain. It is quite a hike, lots of switchbacks, but once you get to the top of Dirty Face, it is a spectacular view, and you can even make out the Wenatchee River, the very beginning of the Wenatchee River as it makes its journey down towards the Columbia. Good morning to Lake Wenatchee. Camera 4. Let's see what Megan has in store for us. Ooh, okay, it's blowing around a little bit. I got to use my noggin on this one. By Steins. I'm sorry? That's the Apple Andes camera? Where do we got that thing pointed at? I guess we got it pointed to the east. Oh, okay, that's the Apple Andes camera. So I guess what we're looking at mostly is monitor. would be my guess. That's a nice view from the Appalachians camera. Normally we have that pointed the other direction, looking at beautiful Kashmir, but we got it pointed, it looks like, to the east this time. I'm seeing lots of orchards, so I'm gonna guess that's the monitor area that we're looking at. I can't, normally what I do when we look at the monitor area, I look for either the Monitor Hilton, the Monitor International Airport, or the Monitor Dome, and I don't see any of those, probably because they don't exist. Good stuff from my producer Megan, picking the cameras out this morning at 6 minutes after the hour. 2 slides to show for you. First of all, the weekend outlook. And as I mentioned before, here in the Wenatchee Valley, we are going to cloud up a little bit. Now, a lot of folks are going to get some clouds. Basically, what's happening is it's going to happen Friday night into Saturday. There's an upper trough. It's going to move into central British Columbia, and that's going to send a weak front down the region on Saturday. That's why we're going to cloud up a little bit, and we're also going to have some breezy conditions. So we're going to cool down quite a bit on Saturday than what we're expecting on Friday. So that's looking towards the weekend. By the way, Sunday looks fine. We're going to have quite a bit of sunshine and mild temperatures. But if you had outdoor plans on Saturday, looks fairly overcast and a little on the breezy side in some locations here in the Wenatchee Valley and out in the Columbia Basin. Now, as far as the long-term outlook, this is from the Climate Prediction Center to the CPC. That's, I believe, the United States. As you can see, in the Pacific Northwest, we have a good chance, the 6 to 10 day outlook, a good chance for warmer than normal temperatures, considerably warmer than normal temperatures for the Wenatchee Valley, and dry conditions expected as well. If it's green, it means wet, and if it's blue, it means cool, and we have red and tan, which means it's going to be sunny and warm and dry, drier anyway, than normal over the next 6 to 10 days. That's the long-term outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. So there you go. I want to get those out of the way. Thanks, by the way, to the National Weather Service for sending those slides. Speaking of the National Weather Service, they handle the forecast for us, and it's brought to you by Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. They give your home a hug. There's the van, safely parked, of course. So sunshine today, lots of sunshine. Dry conditions, right around 87 or 88. Get out and enjoy. Turn on the air conditioning if you need it. 60 for the overnight low tonight. A little windy at times tonight. No big deal. We can handle it. More sunshine on Friday. High of about 90 degrees. Friday night is when the system that we talked about is going to come in, going to cloud us up, but it's also going to keep us quite mild. The overnight low, as you can see, 65. That's pretty warm for the overnight low because we'll have the blanket. We'll have the clouds coming in on Friday night, going to hold the heat in. Saturday, unfortunately, going to be cloudy. Could see some light rain on Saturday afternoon. And as you can see, we cool down to only about 84 degrees. And again, just a little bit of wind at times on Saturday. Saturday night, that trough begins to exit the area. We'll get down to 61. Gobs of gooey good sunshine on Sunday with a few morning clouds, but as Sunday progresses and we start warming up, the clouds will dissipate. 84 for the high on Sunday, 87 Monday, 91 Tuesday, 93 Wednesday. Told you it was going to get hot. At what point do we go from warm to hot? I suppose that's a personal thing, doesn't it? I mean, is there really a big difference between 89 and 91? It only tells us 2 degrees, but the psychological difference between 89 and 91 affects a lot of people. 58 degrees, sunshine downtown. Going to take a break. Come back with your Thursday morning news. So return with us in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
My name is Manuel Navarro, Chief Operating Officer at Columbia Valley Community Health. Patient safety is our top priority, including providing care that just can't wait. With enhanced safety precautions, we want to ensure you that we're able to continue providing safe and efficient in-person care at our clinic. From in-car check-in, ongoing screening, immediate rooming, your family can get the safe care that they deserve here at Columbia Valley Community Health.
At Earthwise Pet, we take an all-natural approach to wellness and nutrition. Our professional certified groomers were trained by the best in the Pacific Northwest. Our staff here at Earthwise Pet are all certified in pet nutrition. We are here to help you select the perfect food, supplement, and anything else you may need to make sure your pet is living its best and most healthy life. Earthwise Pet, Nutrition Center and Wellness Spa. Online or in the store, we are here for you.
Back back out of the 10 minutes after the hour on this Thursday. Lots of sunshine, 58 degrees, upper 80s today, right around 90 on Friday, with quite a bit of sunshine, clouding up, cooling down on Saturday, and then we start the warming process again with lots of sunshine Sunday, and we're just start climbing up that temperature ladder. Here's what's making news, and this was the scene yesterday afternoon up Nahum Canyon. A home saved, that's the good news, before outbuildings destroyed. This is after a fire about a mile and a half up Nahum Canyon, we're told, near Kashmir. This was yesterday afternoon. The fire was first reported shortly before 1 o'clock. It started with one structure. It then quickly spread to another outbuilding, a shed, and a pump house. Strong winds, of course, driving it. It was finally contained by firefighters. By the way, nobody was injured in the blaze, and the cause of the initial fire that spread to the other outbuildings is under investigation. For the first time, both Chelan and Douglas counties have reached a key benchmark in Governor Jay Inslee's Safe Start COVID-19 reopening plan. One of the key factors the governor has cited in allowing counties to move from one phase of reopening to another is no more than 25 new cases per 100,000 population over a 2-week period. Now, a report Wednesday from the Chelan-Douglas Health District showed 24.6 cases per 100,000 for Chelan County and 25.3 cases per 100,000 for Douglas County over the past 2 weeks. Both counties received, of course, approval last week to move to phase 1.5 of the reopening plan. That's lagging behind most of the state. The health district says the two counties are hoping to jump to phase 3 of the plan, which would substantially reduce restrictions on businesses and gatherings. Well, despite a statement from the company's lawyer last week that said Slidewaters would reopen within days, the owner of the Chelan Water Park said yesterday that they still don't have an official opening date. A federal judge presiding over a lawsuit filed on behalf of Slidewaters by the Freedom Foundation last week denied a request for a temporary restraining order that would have allowed the water park to open. That lawsuit seeks to prevent the State Department of Labor and Industries from levying $10,000 fines on businesses that defy Governor Jay Inslee's phased reopening plan in response to the COVID-19 outbreak. Slidewaters owner Robert Bordner says he's still working hard to reopen, and he's urging guests to email the Chelan-Douglas Health District board members supporting his efforts to reopen. The 21-year-old management agreement between the East Wenatchee Metropolitan Parks District and the Wenatchee Valley YMCA on the operation of the Eastmont Aquatic Center has come to an end. The Parks Board voted on Monday to immediately end the contract with the Y that was set to expire at the end of next year. The Aquatic Center is owned by the Parks District, but its day-to-day operations have been handled by the Y since 1999. In a press release, the YMCA voiced its support of the decision and say they're hoping to reach an agreement with the Parks District for the continued use of the pool by members of the Y. The Aquatic Center recently completed a $3 million renovation project, but is yet to reopen because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Washington fire departments rely on the Washington Surveying and Rating Bureau to tell them how they're doing on community fire protection. Well, recently, Chelan County Fire District Number 1, which serves the greater Wenatchee area, moved up a point in the 10-point WSRB rating, and that's a big step for any fire service. The chief of Chelan County Fire District Number 1 is Brian Brett, and he talked to our very own Jefferson Robbins about the good news.
Fire District 1 is broken into two areas for grading, one being the city of Wenatchee and the other being the outskirts of the city of Wenatchee from Sunny Slope to up the canyons, Wenatchee Heights to Melt, Malaga, and Clockham. We dropped from 4.94 to 3.46 in the county, and we dropped from a 4.22 in the city to a 3.32. So the whole fire district now is a 4. The whole goal of being evaluated by WSRB is to encourage communities to invest in their fire service. And by investing in your fire service, the end state is getting a reduction in fire insurance premiums. And this new rating goes into effect on September 1st, and we encourage people to reach out to their agents, and they will be able to look up their new community protection classes, public protection classes, and ideally will realize some form of reduction in fire insurance premiums, which is usually substantially less for residentials than commercial structures. We're just super pleased with these results. It validates all the planning and investments that the district has been making over several years and aligns us to pursue our goals of trying to increase our staffing. Because if we were able to staff the fire district to the service level expectation of the community, we would drop to a 3 most likely in the whole fire district.
A Grand Coulee man who sold methamphetamine on the Colville Indian Reservation will serve a decade in federal prison. 27-year-old Randall Curtis Gross was sentenced on Tuesday at U.S. District Court in Spokane. He pled guilty 4 months ago to drug conspiracy charges. U.S. Attorney William Hyslop said Gross sold large amounts of meth and heroin primarily to Colville tribal members on the reservation. ATF and drug enforcement agents arrested him last July as part of a drug trafficking investigation in Grant County. The Grant County Sheriff's Office, the Ephrata Police Department, and the Colville Tribal Police all participated in the investigation. What the next public school year will look like, we don't know. It's still up in the air. But the Wenatchee School District wants to extend some of its resources to students all summer long. Students who were issued laptops and tablets from the school district last April, as the COVID-19 shutdown began, will be able to keep them all summer long. Only graduating seniors or students who are not returning to class next year need to hand over their devices. Now, as for meals, anyone in the district under the age of 18 can continue to pick up lunches and breakfast from school distribution points. That starts on Monday, July 6th. You can get more information by visiting the Wenatchee School District's website. After several construction delays, the new Statler Bridge in Okanagan County finally reopened yesterday morning. Parts of Salmon Creek Road outside of Omak have been closed since September because of the $1 million bridge replacement project. The replacement of the 19-foot flood-damaged bridge was first expected to be completed back in January, then was pushed back to February, and in March, Okanagan County simply said the road would remain closed until further notice. The county said there is still some finishing work to complete on the project, but that will not require additional closures. The county added that the contractor's construction delays did not add to the cost of the project. And that's your headlines at 18 minutes after the hour. The crew, some working remotely, some working here in our broadcast metroplex, will be putting together a newscast for you because we think it's important that you keep informed on what's going on in the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington. With a preview of your Thursday night news, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, the latest COVID-19 news from around the area. All of your unseasonably warm North Central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom from home will have a look at sports. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope you'll join us then. Dan, back to you.
I will join you then, Grant. I make a point to watch the news. We hope you do too. And if you have a news tip or you want to drop us a note, we try and give you a lot of different ways to do it. It's all internet related, of course, because this internet thing, I'm on record, it's catching on. Keep an eye on it. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com. You can go to our Facebook page, drop us a note via Facebook Messenger, or if you go to our website, ncwlife.com, there's a Contact Us icon at the top of the screen. You can either submit a news tip to the news team, or you can just drop us a note and say, hi-de-ho. Well, you don't even have to say hi-de-ho. It's 18 minutes after the hour. Where are we in the world of baseball? Some good news, some bad news. We need baseball. The latest in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. Remember the good old days? Sunday supper at Grandma's and the best recipes being passed down through generations? Well, come on out to Blueberry Hills and find amazing food with huge portions at family-friendly prices. From Benedict's to burgers to fresh fruit pies, there is something for everyone. Don't miss Blueberry Hills, where you pick, you sip, you eat, and you visit. wildaboutberries.com.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
back at 20 minutes after the hour in this Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz. Just when we thought fences were mended in baseball between management and players, we've discovered that there's still a couple of holes in that proverbial fence. Word came out yesterday afternoon that Major League Baseball and its players were agreeable to a new proposal of a 60-game schedule with players receiving full prorated salaries. This followed 4 hours of face-to-face discussions between Rob Manfred, who's the commissioner of Major League Baseball, and Tony Clark, who's the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association. Now, Clark came out last night and said the players want more games. That means the ball's back in Manfred's court. On the next steps, he basically has two options. He can simply set a 60-game schedule, start the season on July 19th, or cancel the season altogether. Major League Baseball's previous proposal was for a 72-game season, but of course, the more time passes, the fewer games will be able to be played. The league has set September 27th as their end date of the regular season. The concern, of course, is a second wave of coronavirus in the fall that could impinge on baseball's postseason. So Major League Baseball has an image problem, squabbles over money, but minority players are stepping into the Black Lives Matters discussion. On opening day of last year, of the 882 players on Major League Baseball rosters, only 68 were African Americans. 10 of those were on the roster of the Seattle Mariners. Friday, of course, tomorrow is Juneteenth. That's the holiday commemorating the end of slavery in the United States, as it were. On June 19th, 1865, Union troops landed in Galveston, Texas, with the news that the Civil War had ended and all enslaved people were free. In honor of that and the social unrest in our country right now, the Mariners on Friday will debut Black Voices in Baseball. It's a virtual panel, an hour-long program. It'll have Dee Gordon on it, J.P. Crawford, Shed Long, Kyle Lewis, Dave Sims will be the moderator. Sims is the one of only two African-American play-by-play announcers in Major League Baseball. African-American players also lent their time to a video. It's a video message in support of the Black Lives Matters movement. They did this video earlier in the week.
We've been told that our peaceful pleas
were not made at the right time,
at the right place,
in the right way.
We've been told to wait.
But we remember when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. warned us
that the word wait
has almost always meant never.
We will wait no longer.
We'll make our voices louder.
For all of us who can,
and for all of those who could not.
8 minutes and 46 seconds is enough time to lift a knee.
To do what is right.
To say something.
To acknowledge the pain of the Black community.
You have cheered for us,
but we need you to cheer with us now.
When we need you most.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
It's our cheer for change.
It's your cheer for us.
It's these cheers that will unite us.
One team.
One dream.
Be the change.
And again, the Mariners Black Voices in Baseball virtual panel will be available on the Mariners YouTube channel tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. The University of Washington got a large injection of talent. It's a graduate transfer moving back to the Puget Sound area. Kevin Thompson, who was the Big Sky Player of the Year last year for Sacramento State, has decided to make a graduate transfer and play his final year of eligibility this fall at the University of Washington. He's 6 foot 2 inches tall, 200 pounds. He's a dual threat quarterback. He threw for 3,216 yards and 27 touchdowns last year. He also rushed for 619 yards and a dozen touchdowns. He graduated from Auburn Riverside High School. He originally signed with UNLV back in 2014, transferred to Sacramento State after that, and now he's coming closer to home. Strangely, the team that Thompson would have been playing for this season, Sacramento State, visits Husky Stadium on September 12th. Now he'll be on the opposite sideline. Mike Leach is coming back to Pullman in 11 years, we think. It's conceivable anyway. Washington State University announced 2 non-conference games against Mississippi State Wednesday. So Leach may be returning to the Pullman to reunite with his former program. The Cougars and the Bulldogs will play in Starkville, Mississippi on August 31st, 2030, and then in Pullman on August 30th, 2031, provided Leach is still coaching, of course, at Mississippi State. It would pit the third winningest coach in program history against his former club. Good seats still available, and that's sports. 25 minutes after the hour. I had 4 obscure holidays to choose from. Today is National Splurge Day. Today is National Career Nurse Assistance Day. We love our CNAs. It's National Dump the Pump Day. No, we're going to go fishing instead. Yeah, it's National Go Fishing Day. That's me out there fishing for marlin last week. I'm just kidding. Every June 18th, take a little time out from your daily routine. Head to your favorite stream or pond or lake or river. Bait your hook, cast your line, catch yourself a fish or two. There's a lot of people, I know a lot of people, who love to fish, but they don't like fish. I mean, they don't like eating fish. They simply catch and release. They go eat, they like the action and the excitement of catching a fish, and then they bring the fish in, and they take the hook out, and they toss the fish back into the lake or the water or the stream. Of course, fishing goes back as long as everybody can remember, because people like to eat, and people like to eat fish. The practice of catching or attempting to catch a fish is sometimes called angling. There are some areas where you can't keep the fish, and there are some baits. If you use a certain type of bait, you can't throw the fish back in. You have to keep the fish. The earliest known essay on how to fish goes back to 1496. So take the day and go fishing. Don't forget, you got to get your license and all that stuff and all the things required by law. And don't forget, you got the Pike Minnow Derby this weekend on the Columbia River. That might be a good time to do it too. It is the 18th day of June. Today in history, we went to war with the British again. Can't seem to shake those guys. June 18th, 1812, 280 years ago today. The Declaration of War was signed by President James Madison. So the War of 1812 began on this date, 280 years ago. It's one of our more obscure wars. For the record, we won, in case you missed that in history class. But the War of 1812 began on this date in 1812. They could have come up with a better name than that, 205 years ago, speaking of wars, Napoleon met his Waterloo. Literally and figuratively, the Battle of Waterloo. The final defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte, the Duke of Wellington, and some Germans and some other folks said, we got to just 86 this guy one way or the other. He had his time in the sun. He wanted to conquer Europe. Darn near did it. Didn't work. Napoleon, of course, came back, got a bunch of his forces together. One last comeback. Didn't work. It was off to, he had to abdicate the throne to France again. And this time they sent him off to exile forever. Napoleon going down to defeat, June 18th, 1815. And happy 72nd birthday to the LP record. I have a 3 or 4 at my house, if I remember correctly. June 18th, 1948, they had a big old party at the Waldorf Astoria in New York City, and Columbia Records unveiled the long playing 33 1/3 record album in a public demonstration. Before the invention of the LP, of course, the main source of music was 78 RPM records for personal home use. But 78 RPM records, you could only hold about 3 minutes of music on a side. Of course, the LP revolutionized not only how we listen to music, but how music is composed and conducted, because they went from a limit of 3 minutes to 23 minutes, which is what most LPs can hold on one side of a record. And we want to thank Peter Goldmark for being the guy who did it. He worked for Columbia Records. He worked on the development and the research, and he was the one who perfected the long-playing record album. Unfortunately, because he worked for Columbia Records, he didn't get the patent. That was the deal. Columbia gets the patent for the LP. They still have the patent for the LP, for that matter. But Peter Goldmark, because they were so happy with Peter's work, they gave him one free copy of every record that Columbia released while he was still working for the company. Not a bad deal, if you think about it. Happy birthday to the record. Where would my life be without the LP? Speaking of LPs, this guy sold a couple. Sir James Paul McCartney, our one and only celebrity birthday. Can't get much bigger than Sir Paul. He's 78, by the way, years old today. 2-time inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist in 1999, and as a member of an English group from Liverpool whose name escapes me, back in 1988. Paul McCartney is credited with either writing or co-writing 32 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, by far more than anybody else. He's also the wealthiest musician on the planet. is worth about $1.5 billion. Sir Paul has done good for himself. And like a lot of great musicians, for instance, John Lennon and Bob Dylan, among many, many others, Paul McCartney cannot read or write sheet music. You put sheet music in front of him, Paul doesn't know what it is, but he can write and he can play. 30 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break. Mike McNally's got an opinion, and then we're going to replay my interview with Dave Tosh, the Executive Director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, with good news regarding the thrift shop. It's coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
This is Caitlin Hedershe, the producer of the NCW Life magazine. Each week, I'm bringing you a look behind the scenes of the faces, places, and events that make North Central Washington the place we call home. Tune in every weekday for an in-depth look at a new topic each week. From local artists in their studios to businesses breaking barriers that might surprise you and everything in between. Join me on the NCW Life magazine right here on the NCW Life channel.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. Yeah.
There he is. Sure wish he was here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Little 4-point. It's a nice kokanee. Solid fish.
Watch the Northwest Outdoorsman with Richie Herod Saturdays and Sundays at 6 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 4:30 p.m. on the NCW Life channel.
Collins Fashions is now open. Following safety guidelines, come and shop at Collins Fashions. There's nothing like a new pair of sandals or outfit to lift your spirits. Tommy Bahama says fun in a stylish way. Mother of the bride or groom, special celebrations. Collins has a beautiful variety of dresses for all occasions. Need a little something to make you smile? Brighton jewelry and handbags fit us all. Collins Fashions is now open. Let's go shopping 10 to 5 Monday through Saturday.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 6th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tabor.
I'm Mike. And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the doghouse.
Are you in the doghouse?
This is Mike, Mad Dog McNally, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now,
I really made a decision as a mental health professional and for someone who provides treatment to domestic abuse perpetrators. I'm going to deal with issues of respectful relationships with the adolescent young men who come to me for counseling. Now, I'm going to do this with each one of them. I ask each one of them, what kind of man do you want to be? Someone who respects women and children, who treats them with care and consideration, or something else? Now, of course, they all say they want to be decent, good men, but honestly, we have to help our young men and boys to fully understand what it means to be a decent and respectful man in this society. Yes, we do. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales,
where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Up Wenatchee Valley. My guest today is no stranger to this program. Dave Tosh has been on this show numerous times. He is the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Dave and I were just joking off air before we started rolling tape. Last time we saw Dave, he came in March to say, well, out of an abundance of caution, we're going to shut down the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center for a couple of weeks to see where we are with this whole COVID thing. And that was 3 months ago. But Dave has some good news, and we're going to start out with the good news. Dave, take it away. Tell folks what we're talking about.
Well, we made the decision yesterday at our monthly board meeting that we would reopen our thrift store on Monday, the 22nd. So we got a few more days to go here, and we will have our thrift store reopened, and you're going to notice a few changes. We're going to expand it into some other areas that we haven't used before because the space is idle, as the rest of the senior center will remain closed. And so we will have a handle on everything come Monday morning in terms of asking people to wear masks, maintain the social distancing, but we have spread things out a bit, and we think that we'll be able to fit quite a few customers into the thrift store and make it hospitable for everybody.
That's really fantastic news, and I know, having been to the thrift store any number of times, it was kind of crammed in there a little bit. You had a lot of stuff crammed in, not a lot of square footage. So by being able to actually practice safe social distancing and a 6-foot mask and everything, you actually are going to be able to maybe have a more enjoyable shopping experience.
We hope so, and we will have one entryway. We'll have one exit way, and the donations that used to come in through the main entryway will now be received on the side of the building. And we think by spreading all of that out, that will also aid in keeping the distancing that we need. And obviously, we have older employees, we have older volunteers. The bulk of the folks are over age 65, so we've got to be careful here, and that's one of the reasons we've kind of moved a little bit slow once we got word that we could reopen with 50% of normal capacity.
Well, that's good news, and I'm personally very pleased for you. But the better news would be eventually when the entire Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center can reopen. Is that not going to happen until we get to at least phase, say, 3 here in Chelan County?
We think it'll be longer than that. And the issue we have is the 6-foot social distancing and the population we serve. And with those two elements, I think we're looking at a longer period until we can relax the 6-foot social distancing. As you can imagine, this is a social organization. We have a lot of card games with card tables with 4 people sitting at a table. Our dining room is not set up to keep that kind of separation with the numbers that we draw. We have dancing. We're not going to be able to do that. So really the long pole in the tent here is the 6-foot social distancing that we have to grapple with. And I know things are changing quickly out there, and we also have to be careful that we don't reopen too early. For all I know, there could be a spike in the number of cases, and the governor may come out and announce that we're going to have to cut back. So, we're slow and steady around here. We're very methodical, and like I said, we were one of the first organizations to close. We will probably be one of the last organizations to reopen because of what I just said.
Well, I feel sorry for your regular clientele, your regular patrons. I know dozens of people who went to the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center almost every day. And I'm curious as to how they're doing. What are they doing to pass the time without your campus to go to?
Well, we have established some contact with our membership. We have one of our receptionists is making phone calls. She spends several hours each day calling the membership, checking in on them. We've got a lot of thank yous about that. It's not that we can do a lot for them, but just checking in, talking to them, people enjoy that and really have thanked us a lot for just checking in. Again, we're more of a social organization. We do provide a lot of services, but really it's all about bringing people, seniors in here to have a lot of fun and enjoyment and socialize. And that's the part that we're just not going to be able to do right away. But I've told the staff and I've told our volunteers and the board that there's a lot of things we can't control here. But the one thing we can is our thrift store, and it is our primary source of funding. It's very, very important to the senior center. And finance-wise, we're doing okay, but it's really going to help us a lot to get that thing reopened and get some more income going in.
What are some of the projects, and this kind of relates to our last conversation back in March, Dave, you have been able to take advantage of this downtime at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center to take care of some in-house infrastructure kind of things, building maintenance and stuff that you needed to do. You want to touch on that for a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, we've done quite a bit actually in the last several months. Some of it has been done by professional flooring experts, but a lot of it has been done by volunteers. So we have repainted our social hall. We've done some additional decorating and some enhancements that make it look very, very nice right now. It was 7 years ago that we last painted the social hall. We put new LED lighting in the upper ceiling, not only to save money, but it's brighter. And so we've done that. We've remodeled our main restrooms that are connected to the social hall. Just finished that project last week. It's going to look really nice with new flooring and a lot of other enhancements, new faucets, replacing all of the piping that we can get to, the outlet, the valves, all those kinds of things we've been working on there. And then we've also done some flooring in our suite area. We have 4 suites on the side of the building. 2 of those are going to be used for donations, but we just completed that project with new flooring and redid the restrooms in that sector of the building. And I could go on with some other things, but a lot of volunteer effort here that we really appreciate, and we have been able to do it with 6-foot social distancing, we haven't had too many people in here at a time. We did have a board meeting yesterday, and we did keep separation. Anytime we bring a number of people out here, we use our social hall where everybody can spread out. So we're trying to be very careful, and I think we've succeeded. So far, so good. We've not heard of any of our seniors that have had the coronavirus, which makes us feel real good that way. But we want to keep it that way.
Absolutely. The last thing you want to do is, as you mentioned before, go backwards. We don't want to go from phase 1.5 to phase 1. We don't want that. We want to go to 2 to 3 to 4 and eventually have the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center back to full strength. Although I must say, even though you got a new paint job, the mural stayed because I love that mural.
Well, I try to use that as our backdrop, and we did put a really nice border trim work around it that everybody's really going to come in here and I think appreciate what we were able to accomplish while we've been closed. And the restrooms needed to be remodeled. They were 25 years old, and the original flooring, and obviously we were having a hard time scratching our heads to figure out how we were going to close those when we were under normal operation. So we used this time wisely, I think.
But having the thrift store reopen on the 22nd is a godsend because, as you mentioned, that's a significant source of income. It's your biggest source of income. I mean, you are a nonprofit, and not having that thrift store up and running must have been a pretty good financial hit. But it sounds to me like you're doing okay.
Yes, we were able to receive the SBA loan. The PPP has helped us a lot to get through this, and so we've been very fortunate to be able to take advantage of other sources right now. That is going to turn into a grant because we're going to be able to spend the bulk of that money on wages and salaries. So that's all good. And then, I always preach the fact that we are an independent organization. We run our own show here, and we're the ones that got to figure it out in terms of where all the money's going to come from. And that thrift store has been the key ingredient to all the success we've achieved financially. And that's why we want to get that up and running again. And I'm sure that we'll have great success.
That I have no doubt, and I'm spitballing here, Dave, but knowing Dave Tosh the way I do, you probably you really miss the people, don't you? Because you're a social guy, and it's a social club, and you probably miss that day-to-day interaction with your employees, your volunteers, and your patrons.
That's really why I'm here at the age I am. I really enjoy the fact that I grew up in this valley. Although I grew up in Cashmere, so many of the people that frequent the senior center I've known in my past. I was gone for a long time and came back about 10 years ago. Been doing this for 7. I'll hit my anniversary here in July for 7 years. I don't know that I've had this much enjoyment in my entire lifetime. I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has been the most enjoyable thing I've ever done. And yeah, this is a little bit stressful right now, but we're going to make it through it, and we're going to get back to normal. I just can't tell you when.
Dave, let's wrap up this conversation with where we started, and I'll turn it all over to you. All the things that everybody needs to know about the reopening of the thrift store at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Dave, I'm going to turn it over to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know if I caught all of that, what you just said.
I'm asking you to recap what we started to talk about the store being reopened on the 22nd and the safe social distancing, the things that the people need to know so they can visit your thrift shop and partake in your cool stuff.
Yeah, so again, we will be reopening our thrift store on Monday, the 22nd. Normal operating hours Monday through Friday from 9 to 4. We will not be opening on Saturdays. That's the major change that we're going to have. A lot of reasons why we're doing that. But Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. And you might even see a new greeter at our entryway, and it might be me. And I might be out there quite often here in the next week when we reopen, saying hi to everybody, keeping distance, and welcoming people back to the thrift store. And I know that we've heard from a lot of people already. You can't wait to get back in there, and we want you to come on in and do some shopping. We got a lot of summer stuff out there right now that we haven't been able to sell. And so a lot of new items that we have been able to stock up, and we're ready to go. Come out and join us.
Dave, as usual, you have an open invitation to visit me on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, hopefully soon. we'll be able to see each other in person instead of via the Skype that we've been doing. And I can't wait to see you again in person. And you're going to see me next week pop by the thrift store because I miss it. I miss the people. I want to come by and say hi.
Okay, thank you, Dan.
Dave Tosh is the Executive Director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activities Center on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dave, thanks for joining me. We'll be right back. JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local sports broadcasts. They've been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, risks, and accomplishments. At JDSA Law, they salute our local athletes and wish them well on another excellent season of competition.
Owner Andrew Vickery brings years of experience to help you transition your backyard into a place where memories are made, family time is looked forward to, and friends are always welcome. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa offers many different styles and sizes of artesian spas, both new and used, as well as residential and commercial pool and spa services, regular maintenance and repairs, and all the chemicals required to keep your pool and spa crystal clear. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
Water is essential to living. From clean drinking water for good health to clean water for your pool or spa. Central Washington Water, your water experts. With whole home water filtration systems for your home's best water. Products and supplies to keep your pool and spa water crystal clear. To a full parts department. Count on Central Washington Water for expert help. Shop screen to screen. Come in or call about a backyard consultation. Central Washington Water, your water care professionals.
And we're back live here from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Got a few minutes left in the program. We have the time, so let's take our tour around the valley one more time. Now that the sun has definitely made its presence felt, we have already started a warm-up. We've gone, when this show started, it was 57 degrees. We're up to 63 already, on our way to a high in the upper 80s, lower 90s on Friday. Bit of a change in the weather on Saturday. We'll get to those details in just a couple of minutes. Once again, we say good morning to the valley proper using the cross camera. Just for the record, sunrise this morning 5:04, sunset tonight 9:01. So for the 6th consecutive day, 15 hours and 57 minutes of daylight. We don't actually get to the 16-hour mark. If you drive about 100 miles north of here, up to Canada or so, right up around there, about 150 miles north of us, you would have about 16 hours of daylight. We don't get all the way to 16, but you know, it's 3 minutes difference. How big is that? Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley. Get ready for the warm-up. It's coming our way. Camera number 2. I think we're using the same camera, so yeah. Oh, she moved it. Megan getting a little tricky on me. Is that still the Bear Mountain camera? It's the Bear Mountain camera, but now she's pointing it up lake towards Tehican and the Holden Village. That way to go, Megan. Throw me for a loop. So we see quite a bit of Manson there from the Bear Mountain camera, which is located way up on the ridge, I believe, above the, I'm trying to remember what hole it is, the 12, or it's been so long since I played Bear Mountain, I can't remember what hole it is, but there's a ridge and it goes way up to the very top, and that's where that tower happens to be. That's where we have this spectacular view of Lake Chelan, which is filled to the brim, and with the first day of summer coming up on Saturday, even though it's going to be cloudy and cooler, I'm willing to guess that Lake Chelan will be hopping with people as it is, as the summer season gets going. Phase 1.5 or not. Good morning to our friends up at Lake Chelan. Camera 3, the Lake Wenatchee camera. I can never get tired of that view. Now that's a brand new camera. We only put that up about 2.5 weeks ago, and then we didn't even know it was up there until finally somebody said, you know, we have a new camera up there. I don't know anybody who works at Skyfly that talks like that, but anyway, good morning to Lake Wenatchee. on this beautiful Thursday morning. That might be a good place to visit too. And I'm sure they're probably past the mosquito season up there. Usually peaks right around Memorial Day weekend. I'm not too sure. You folks up there at Lake Wenatchee, I don't know if you're still dealing with skeeters. It's always an issue. Lake Wenatchee, not so much. Fish Lake is usually a real haven for mosquitoes in the late spring. Camera number 4. Are we up to 4? There's the Apple Andes camera, moved back in its normal position, if you will, as we look down over beautiful Kashmir, Mount Stewart in view, Steins, and the foothills in beautiful Kashmir. The orchards are hanging in there. The fruit is growing, the peaches, the pears, the cherries. Cherry harvest is just beginning in the lower elevations now. Of course, they'll be harvesting cherries really right into August as the cherries that are grown in the upper elevations, the cooler climes. Takes a little bit longer for them to ripen up and get going, but we're now into cherry season. And good news for the cherry growers, there's really no rain in the forecast. So you don't have to worry about rain-damaged crops. That's always a dicey situation for the cherry growers. They have to keep their fingers crossed so we don't get a stray thunderstorm. It could do a lot of damage to the cherry crop. Good morning to Kashmir, Washington, United States of America. All right, let's take one more time. A couple of the slides the National Weather Service sent us our way. First of all, the weekend outlook. For a lot of eastern Washington, there's still a lingering chance of showers, especially in the Pend Oreille area and in the Idaho Panhandle. They've had a lot of rain and very cool temperatures there, but everybody's going to warm up a little bit. The big difference really on Saturday for us is going to be cloudy. There's an upper trough. It's going to move into British Columbia on Saturday, and that's going to send a weak front down our way on Saturday. So we do have a ridge of high pressure, but it's a flat ridge, not a dome, and that allows high clouds to pay us a visit, and that is going to be the case on Saturday before we warm back up on Sunday. The long-term outlook from the Climate Prediction Center is looking mighty warm and mighty dry, as you can see. Look for wherever you want to be or wherever you plan on being over the next 6 to 10 days. As you can see by the graphic there, it is going to be warmer than normal for north central Washington and drier than normal for north central Washington. That's a friendly reminder. We are still in a drought. Even though we had a wetter than normal May and we've had a few stray raindrops in June, we are still technically, as far as the drought monitor is concerned, we are still technically in a drought. It's a moderate drought. It's not a severe drought, but it's still, we are behind on our annual rainfall. We could use some, but it doesn't look like we're going to have any. From the National Weather Service, let's take a look at it in detail. Lots of sunshine today, high of 88 degrees. That's almost air conditioning weather for a lot of folks, and it's going to be sunny and dry on Friday. So 88 are high today, 60 for the overnight low tonight. Friday, 90 degrees. First time we've had 90 in a long time, probably since August of last year. I'm just guessing. Sounds about right. 65 for the overnight low on Friday night. Friday night, overnight into Saturday, that's when that weak front is going to push down from Canada. It's not only going to cool us down, it's going to cloud us up, as you can see on Saturday. Saturday afternoon, there's a slight chance of some light rain. Not a big chance, but 30% is just about our demarcation line. If it goes to 30% or higher, we'll make a note of it. So we did, and a high of only 84, so we're going to cool back down. By the way, yesterday's high was 81. We finally got up past that 80-degree mark. We haven't been there for a while. 61 for the overnight low on Saturday night, but the good news Saturday night, the clouds that will be coming in overnight Friday will be leaving overnight Saturday, just a 24-hour stay. So Sunday's looking good. Sunny, mild, high of 84. As the day progresses on Sunday, we'll see more and more sunshine. So if you're an early riser, say on Sunday morning, you're going to see a few clouds still hanging around from that system. But as the day progresses, the clouds will be slowly exiting the region to the south. We're looking at quite a bit of sunshine by Sunday afternoon. 58 for the overnight low Sunday night. We're back at it on Monday with lots of sunshine and a high of 87, and then to 91, and then to 93, and then to, 95. Grant's our weather expert, our in-house weather expert. He thinks this warm trend that's going to begin on Sunday, which, by the way, is the first full day of summer starting on Sunday. He thinks this is going to be sticking around for quite some time. So it's going to be very typical late June weather with sunny and warm conditions over an extended period of time, and it starts on Sunday. And yes, the first day of summer is on Saturday. For the record, the summer solstice will be at 2:43 on Saturday afternoon for you people who celebrate those things. And my guest tomorrow on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley to talk about summer gardening will be Bonnie Orr. Till then, everybody have a great Thursday. Take care. Bye-bye.